Hello Flosstube, this is Kate from Kate's Crafting Corner, and I'm coming to you with my third Flosstube update. You might notice that there's only 2 videos on my channel, and that is because I accidentally deleted the first one. I was looking at my account and it said something about a video that wasn't uploaded because of an error or something like that, so I deleted it, and turned out that was actually my first video, which was uploaded because you guys saw it and commented, and that was all sweet. But so I don't have my first video, and I haven't found a way to get it back. It was on my phone that died while I was on vacation, and I just don't have access to it anymore. So I'm sad about that, but you live, you learn, and you move on. So I wanted to do a real quick update. It's not going to be really long. I wanted to talk briefly about the whips I worked on. I only had 3 that I worked on this last week. And then I wanted to talk about the small haul I got. It was really small. And finally, I wanted to talk about my plans for the next week. So I want to start off every week by updating you on my rotation from my bullet journal. So this was week 2, and it's this blue color. So you can see everything colored in blue. That's what I worked on, and how much time I have. So for Clouds Factory, I've only got 2 hours left before this rotation. I might need to rethink this, because if I'm going to keep up with the sales, I'm going to run out of rotation time. That might have to go on the other section. Okay, I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go along, right? So, the last whip I actually worked on, but it's on top, so it's going to be talked about first, is I started the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. That was released on Sunday, and this is how much I got done. This is some of the inside border, and I really like this material, and I think the colors look really nice on it. So I am excited to work more on that. Then I started the Clouds Factory Fabulous Woman from History, Sal, and this is what I worked on most this week. And so you can see I got most of Coco Chanel completed. I still have to do her name, but I got most of that completed. And then I've started on the Eleanor Roosevelt stuff. Not her herself yet, but the flag and the paper thing. And so I've really been enjoying this one. I was a bit apprehensive because I don't really like gender-specific things. I would prefer if it had been split 50-50 between fabulous men and fabulous women. But that's what they decided to do, and I do think they're really cute, and it was really interesting reading some of the topics that people talked about on the group for this SAL. I learned things about Coco Chanel I never knew. And I hope that there are discussions like that every month, so that I love history, and it's just really good to get to know more about these famous people, women in this case, from history, and the things that they did, and just things you don't necessarily know or randomly look up. So I'm really enjoying that piece. And then the final piece I worked on is more of the bottom border on my Wonderland series from Brooks Books. So I have the white done of about 2.5 of the characters. I plan on going across with the white first for the top 6 characters, and then filling in from there. I'm in this group on Facebook, Cross Stitch It's Fun, and they have this event called Stitch What's, which is kind of like a take on Harry Potter and Hogwarts and being sorted into houses and earning points and things like that. I was sorted into Satindor, which is, I guess, a takeoff of Gryffindor, and honestly, I'm not a Gryffindor. Like, if I were to rank myself in the houses that I am, Gryffindor is like the bottom. I've never been a Gryffindor. And I was really hoping to get put into Froggen, which is the Slytherin version of this, and Stitch What's. I've just always been a Slytherin. My mom would disagree with that, but she's your mom, and, you know, they like to, I don't know, they like to think positively. I don't think being a Slytherin's a negative, but, you know, moms. And, I mean, every personality test I've ever taken has always sorted me into Slytherin. When I did Pottermore, I got into Slytherin. I've just always been and identified with the Slytherins. Not their evil tendencies, but yeah, I don't have to justify being a Slytherin. But that being said, the people that I have met in the Satin Door house have been really phenomenal, great people. Freddie Wagner is the house lead, and it's really great. Keeps you updated with the events, and Jessie Marie is in Satin Door. So, I mean, there's great people in there, and they're really friendly, and I think it's going to be an event that I really enjoy, because it speaks to my my competitive side that likes to win and things like that, and making the goals and stitching things that meet goals. So why was I blathering on about that? Because I'm working on this piece for the challenge called the Yellow Brick Road, and it's to put 2,000 stitches into a project that has yellow on it. And I've calculated, and if I do the white across the whole border of the top row, that'll equal 2,100 stitches, and so that will put me at my goal, and I need to get this done by the end of January. So, moving on to what I plan on doing this week, I need to put more stitches into this. It's really easy to do. They're 5x5 blocks, so it's pretty brainless to just quickly quickly stitch them up, because I don't need to reference the pattern. At the end of stitching for a day, I count up how many I have done, and I add it to my tracker in my bullet journal that's keeping track of how many more I need to do. So I will continue to work on this week. I would like to finish this piece, like finish Eleanor and then do their names and then be totally done with part 1 of this Sal, even though it means I'm probably going to go over the 2 hours that I have left for Clouds Factory. The extra time will have to move to my other category, so that's fine. I would like to finish this week the inside borders of this one, the Happily Ever After. Probably not the saying, just because I'm not sure I'm going to have time, and I have to be a little realistic with myself. And then my final, not really final goal. Okay, today's the 17th, so for year starts 2, the 17th is the day that you start a new project. So after I finish uploading this onto YouTube, I plan on starting the Cinderella that I showed you last time from Brooks Books. And so that will be my start for this month. I may or may not be moving at the end of this month. My lease is up in my apartment, but I'm really having a hard time finding a new apartment to move into. Rent is just ridiculous where I live. It's out of control. But every place I find in my budget has no vacancies, so I may end up having to renew my lease for another 6 months and being more diligent on trying to find a new apartment in that time. And so I may or may not be moving at the end of this month. If I'm moving at the end of this month, and I have to make my decision by the end of this week to let my apartment complex know. So if I end up moving at the end of this month, I'm not going to have much stitching time. So that really affects my plans and goals for this week and next week. If I end up staying here, Then there's this readathon that I plan on participating in this weekend. It's called 24 and 48. So you try to read for 24 hours in 48 hours. So on Saturday and Sunday from midnight to midnight. I guess midnight Friday night to Sunday or Monday morning midnight. You try to read 24 hours. I like to listen to audiobooks, so what I was thinking was trying to get 24 hours of audiobooks and stitching in which case I hope to put in some time on my chatelaines and to, yeah, mainly the chatelaines, and then finish these goals. But if I'm going to move, then I'm not going to have time for that because I'll need to pack. Because nothing's packed. And I would have like a week to pack. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so stressful just thinking about it. But, so that's what kind of my plans for this next week are contingent on whether I move or not. I have some feelers out right now, but I'm waiting to hear back. I've contacted a few places and I'm on some wait lists. So we'll see what happens. So now to the final part of this video, my little bit of haul. And I didn't get a lot, y'all, because, you know, I'm doing Stitch from Stash. But we are allowed to be in monthly clubs, I believe, if we were already signed up for that. And so I'm in Fiberlicious's fabric and floss of the month, except for I had to withdraw from the floss of the month because of rent. Rent sucks, right? Being a grown-up, oh boy. So, Fiberlicious's January fabric is called Fireworks, and it's so beautiful. I don't know what I'm going to stitch on it, but it's so beautiful. Here it is. I mean, look at that. I was wondering if maybe like a Northern Expression twisted tile. I was enrolled in that last year and I have all of them and haven't started them. So I was wondering if maybe like something like that would look nice on here. Maybe a couple of them. I don't know. We'll see. So this is that fabric. And that's a 13 by 17. If I had gotten this size up, I think that maybe the quote, the charity quote from Stitchrovia would have been nice on that, but it's not the bigger size. And I want to stick to my budget and not buy fabric, right? Okay, so then we have 5 flosses. And they are really beautiful, and I forgot to bring over a white, okay, this might work. Forgot to bring over a white piece of paper. Okay, so this first one is called Hot Pink, and there's no doubt that is hot pink. The next one is called Eggplant. That's a very nice purple. I like purple. This one is called Ballet Slipper. It's a nice soft pink. Reminds me of a little girl doing her ballet probably. Deep Plum is the next one. Another nice purple. Here's a comparison of the two purples so you can see how different they are. And the two pinks so you can see how bright this one is and how nice and soft and girly the other one is. And then this one is called Minty Breath. That's just really pretty. So that's my haul. And that's really about all I had to say. I didn't get any crocheting done. Well, I got 2 rows on my genre Afghan done, but I'm like 6 rows behind. I've read 11 books so far this year, so I think that is really good, and that's more than I've ever done at this point in a year before. My goal is to read 104. That's about 2 books a week. So I've definitely have some cushion for when I go through a reading slump, you know, like stitching slumps. You have reading slumps. So building in some room there. But that's about all I have to say. If you have any questions, you can just ask in the bottom and I'd be happy to address them. I hope I didn't miss any. You all are so nice with your comments and your subscriptions, and this community really does just blow me away. I've watched more Flosstube videos in this last week than I have ever before, and you guys are just so fun to watch and to get to know, and I'm just happy to be a part of this community. So thank you and have a happy stitching week, and I'll see you next Monday. Bye.